G'day everybody, it's Mike, hope you're well. And just need to apologise, this may be a little bit, I don't know, boring, but there's lots of numbers and lots of hypotheticals, but also I want to share the progress I've made with the car thus far. There it is, that's the wee beastie. Not a bad looking thing. Headlights are a bit funny, they're a bit sun damaged, but overall the car now is to a point where I'm actually really happy with it. It's drives really well, it goes really well, it's not too loud, the exhaust work I'm really happy with, but what I want to share is just some figures and numbers and hypotheticals and all that sort of stuff. So this is dynographs here. So on the left hand side you can see here we've got, I'll make this bigger a little bit. We've got the first run which I ran and 302 horsepower at the wheels, which I was really disappointed with. It should have had a lot more. But at the time I didn't realise that the mass airflow sensor was buggered and causing all sorts of issues, like the car to run super rich and retard timing and do all sorts of weird things. So the overall time here, or the best time we ever got, was 13.267 at 108.5 miles an hour, and that was done once because we had a huge storm hit, so that messed up that. Now, column D is, honestly, it's just hypothetical, because I used a calculator to calculate this horsepower. This is calculated horsepower, this is measured horsepower. 302 is measured, calculated is 393. There's no way this engine has lost 90 horsepower at the wheels. This dyno, as much as I respect the guys running it, and I do, is super low reading dyno, because the car does not lose 90 horsepower at all, unless it's like a four-wheel drive with big tyres or something like that. But a normal car, that horsepower should be a lot better, but we've got what we've got. So working with the same difference and using the same calculations between the two, the best time after the tune, so tune's done, had a drop-in panel filter, but the rest of the intake was stock. We ran a 12.9 at 110.22 miles an hour, and calculated horsepower was 412. And using the same math between the two, rear wheel horsepower hypothetically is about 331. So after I found out that the mass airflow was buggered, I replaced it, also got the full exhaust done, and went out to the drag strip, and it was hot. We ran a 12.52 at 112.62 miles an hour, and the calculated horsepower is 444, and rear wheel horsepower on this same dyno could be about 347, using the same difference between the two. Not very great way of doing it, but that's all I've got to work with. Now, next Wednesday, I'm going back to the dyno, and I've got the tune, intake, proper dual exhaust, PPE headers. I know the headers can give 30 to 40 horsepower at the wheels over everything else here. And again, hypothetical, 468 at the engine. I think that's conservative. I'm looking for these numbers at the drag strip, 1220 to 1230 at 115 to 116 miles an hour. If I can get that, I'll be really happy. The engine has, I think it's learnt the new tune, so we should get that. Now there's other things here I'm looking at doing, is a larger intake, which is 87 millimeters instead of 80. That's worth 11 to 12, or 10 to 12 horsepower. That's known, measured by RR Racing. Inlet port and polish is worth another 10 to 12 horsepower. That's a proven thing over everything else. So again, hypothetically, we're looking at 100 horsepower per litre, which is about 500 horsepower. A trap speed in excess of 118 miles an hour, which many ISFs have done. It's not a hard thing to do. There's a lot of ISFs that have run 117, even up to 120 miles an hour with bolt-ons. No nitrous, no supercharging, turbocharging, just all bolt-on. So it would be really cool to get these sort of numbers at the end in winter. So that's what I'm aiming at. The other file we're just going to have a quick look at is the this is the quarter mile records that I've been keeping. So the first one, the average, the best stock. So we got here the best stock was 12.26, 108.5 miles an hour. After the tune, 12.9 at 110 miles an hour. And when I fixed the mass airflow and had the full dual exhaust put on as well, we jumped to a 12.52 at 112.95 miles an hour. So the thing is starting to go really well. This in the red is an estimate, so I'll just get a little bit closer. The estimate is what I might be getting with the headers fitted. So I think I said earlier, in the 1220s, 114 to 116 miles an hour would be awesome. To do that, I need 480 horsepower to get those sort of times, roughly 460 to 480. We will find out. We'll find out in the next week or two if it ever stops raining here in Australia. It's just unbelievable at the moment. So that will be something, yeah, I'm really eager to get going. The other thing I wanted to show was, just have to reduce all this crap out of the way. Hang on. This is my car. This is on drag times, and I put up my file here, 1252 to 112.62. This guy here has run a 12.28. Now 186 kilometers an hour is, I'll just do the math. It's 116.0 miles per hour. There's not a lot of difference between these two cars, and he's got the same bolt-ons I have. So as you can see, the 8th mile is 8.00, mine is 8.14, and 10.3 over the 1,000 foot, 10.5. So there's only 2/10 there, 2/10 here. But the mile per hour is actually the big deal. So he's picked up 4 mile an hour over me. So I'm hoping that, yeah, we can do this and get some decent speed out of this thing and decent power, but we will find out yeah, next week on the dyno, and then the weekend after we will be on track and we'll give that a run. So thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe. Yeah, we'll just see how we go. I think we're gonna go well. The car's nice and healthy. It's certainly drives unbelievably good. It's really, really good. Even bottom end power now, like first gear is useless without the traction control. It just wheel spins. So that could be an issue at the track, but we'll find out. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a great day. See ya.